So South Africa, we are watching our country rot away in real time. We are watching our country collapse in front of our eyes. And it all comes down to one thing only: bad leadership. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples so you can follow my logic on this one. Number one, just looking at the Madlanga Commission. Everybody that has testified at the Madlanga Commission, whether they work at the EMPD or they work in some form of police department, the first thing that you realize with those people that are testifying there, I'm not talking about people that are testifying as witnesses because they are giving evidence of, you know, how they've been blowing the whistle and nothing happened. I'm talking about the people that are in top positions of law enforcement. And the first thing that you notice about these people is that we have a very serious leadership problem. Because, first of all, you get what you vote for, okay? Because as citizens of this country, we also have to take responsibility of putting those people in those positions because the leadership that we voted in is giving us the results we're getting now. And we have ourselves to blame for that. If you voted for any of the people that you see on TV at the Madlanga Commission, it is your fault too. Take responsibility. So you look at the Madlanga Commission, you look at somebody like Sibia, and you look at Julius Mkhwanazi, then you realize very quickly that we have no leaders. Where's the mayor of Ekurhuleni when EMPD is involved in so much corruption? Where's the mayor? Because good leadership means that you put systems in place, checks and balances to make sure that everybody does their job. They submit whatever report they have to submit and you go through the process. Why are you doing that? You're doing it to avoid a crisis. But in South Africa, what happens is something has to collapse completely before we do something about it. For example, if you look at, let me stay with law enforcement. Everybody knows the SAPS is incompetent, but instead of fixing the SAPS, disband the whole thing and start over, or find a way to strengthen the checks and balances that were there in the first place. What are we going to do? We're going to employ the army. Just by putting the army on our streets, it is an admission of guilt from the president that the SAPS has failed, and then he knows that he cannot fix it because he doesn't have the skills to do so. So now look at the situation now. We are watching in real life our country collapse. Water, hijacked buildings. How many buildings have to be hijacked in our inner cities before we do something about it? Where's the Minister of Housing? Because we have a housing problem in this country. We have informal settlements, and when we talk about housing, people always think about free housing. I'm talking about affordable housing. First-time buyers need affordable housing where they can start a family. But then you have sold out our inner cities. All the buildings have been hijacked. Now you're not able to build affordable housing. So now the second part is look at our parliament. Ever since the State of the Nation address, we've been watching all the parties give responses to the State of the Nation address to the president. And just look at the behavior in parliament. Just look at the ministers and people that are coming to the podium and how the whole thing is conducted. And then be honest with yourself. Look me in the eye and tell me if you believe that any of those people in that parliament are capable of solving the problems that we're facing as a country. It's not possible because it's like a circus. These people are appointed by the public to represent us in that parliament. But what they do when they get in there, it's all about gaslighting. And it's like you're in high school when the teacher is not there. When the teacher is gone on holiday and then we know that the teacher is not coming, then we're throwing paper at each other, we're jumping on top of desks. That's what parliament is like at the moment. We need strong leaders in this country. We are facing very serious problems in this country, and we keep appointing leaders that are not capable of solving those problems. They're not capable of solving those problems. You just look at how the whole parliament situation is conducted. Then the conclusion that nothing is going to come of that is now logical. That's just our parliament. And you look at our ministers. The other day I was having a conversation. I was asking the Minister of Justice, who used to be the Minister of Human Settlements, the Minister of Human Settlements, who used to be the Minister of Justice. What are they doing as we speak? What are they doing? We have a housing problem where we have informal settlements popping up everywhere. We have hijacked buildings that are supposed to be converted into affordable housing units, small commercial spaces where people can start coffee shops and small businesses. What is the Minister of Human Settlement doing at the moment as we speak? The Minister of Justice. Like, when was the last time you heard from the Minister of Justice? When was the last time you heard the Minister of Justice talk about how they're going to solve the issue of our justice system at the moment? These people are not serious people. We need serious leaders if we are going to solve the unemployment problem that we have, the crime problem that we have, and the economy problem that we have in this country. So I'm done with that. But I just want to touch on a couple of things. Just the way our country is run in general. The water crisis, the crime and unemployment, our sports. Every time I go to the township, the one thing that is missing is sports. You don't see sports in our townships. I mean, let me tell you something. Every township school has got a dedicated area, about maybe an acre or so, in the school premises that is dedicated for sports. But I can tell you now, those spaces are just bushes. Nobody takes care of sports in the township. So the Minister of Sports, instead of sitting there and being a cheerleader for the president, give us your progress report on how you are improving sports in the townships. I can go on forever. I'm looking at the issue with hijacked buildings. What I've realized about hijacked buildings is that it is actually spreading out of city of Joburg, out of the CBD itself. Rosettenville was taken over by criminals, and now you're seeing all these hijacked building situations popping up in Bryanston, Houghton. Before long, this is going to spread throughout the city of Joburg, and then now you're gonna find the president and his leaders sitting there trying to solve the problem. How many fires do you have to put out? Think about the hijacked buildings as well. The last time a hijacked building was on fire, 71 people lost their lives. So how many hijacked buildings are you going to allow to take place? How many hijacked buildings are you going to allow to happen before you realize that it also costs lives? People die in these buildings. These hijacked buildings are not safe for anybody. They don't help anybody. If anything, the only thing they help is the criminality that goes on in there, the drug dealing that goes on in there. So here's my conclusion. Until we have leaders who know how to lead this country, we are going to find ourselves in this position over and over again. And we're not going to be able to solve the complex problems that we face as a country. Until then, stay safe.